Rightio, welcome to Marina Ridges. My name's Bevan McKnight, my wife Tiffany, 2 children, Annabelle and Hudson. Farm Merino Ridges, it's 5,500 hectares, running about 18,000 merinos.
I think we're remarkably blessed to bring up children in the Ida Valley and on this property. They're very lucky kids.
Both of them have been heavily involved.
In the property, and now they're super useful. So that we actually rely on them when they come home.
And was it the same for you growing up?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Useful?
I thought it was. Yeah, but I was the same. Just me and my 2 sisters. We're very lucky to be brought up here as well. So it's a pretty cool spot.
Like for a sheep?
For a sheep?
Yeah.
I don't know, you'll have to ask them.
Yeah, I'd love to put a GoPro on a sheep actually. I reckon it'd be outstanding. Run out of battery reasonably quick. But so basically, our sheep always camp at the highest point. So every morning you'll find them right at the top of the block, and that's I think it's a thing that, like the original Spanish merinos, like they were hunted by wolves, or there was all sort of predators. So they'd be on the lookout all the time, so they're always sitting at the top of the blocks. And then they'll wake, when the sun comes up or a bit earlier, and start drifting off. And usually they do the similar routine of the block every day. So you'll find them at the same spot most days. So they go to water, obviously, they track their way to water. We use a lot of salt with our sheep, so we can draw sheep into different areas of blocks. They're very salt hungry in the Ida Valley, aren't they? And the water is the key. So they track off the tops, down the ridge lines. You can see the tracks all over the hill, and then they'll end up at the water at the similar sort of time of the day, and then they'll start meandering their way back up the hill to their camps at night. Yeah. So we'll start with this time of the year. Like August is obviously it's the end of the year for us really, but with shearing. So obviously, like shelter off shears, that you've taken all the wool off, and we all know how warm wool is. And so shelter off shears and just making sure your animal health is all up to date. Shelter is the key. Feed is even more so. So therefore supplementary feeding in the winter. So it's evenness of feed throughout the year. So you get ebbs and flow. Like in the spring, we grow a lot of feed. So and that's when we're lambing. So that they're in their blocks and little mobs, smaller mobs, and you've got to make sure they've got feed all year round through that process. And then at weaning, we're always thinking about the next step for the sheep. So making sure they've got feed to go onto. And then in the winter, obviously, we get snowfall events or it freezes up. We want to supplementary feed them, so therefore we've made silage through the summer. They're fairly flighty animals, so you just tend to stay away as long as you can. Look, it's very, very hard for me to do, and then tailing time's pretty exciting as well. So obviously we muster all the blocks off, and they all come down onto the flats. So we do that prior to landmark, and then we come through and landmark them all. And most of the ewes and lambs go onto lucerne or a lucerne mix. So there's lots of good feed for them. and that's right through until weaning time, which is around February. February time weaning, so all the lambs stay down, and the ewes will go into our higher country, where they'll spend the summer, and then we move into the autumn. So the autumn time's pretty important again. So we gather up all the ewes and bring them down for crutching time. Any animal health we sort out then, and then we put the ram out first, well, early May, and then late July we'll scan the ewes to see whether they're in lamb. Yeah, we move into shearing again, so which is middle of August. There is a really strong link between the quality of wool and management decisions. Therefore, look, it's in our interest to make sure that those animals are well looked after and well maintained throughout the year. Obviously, the sheep are our income. If we're not looking after them, we don't have a fibre to sell to yarn. Well, you know, a quality fibre to sell to yarn. The products that yarn are producing suit our 16 to 17 micron. They're next to skin, like the softer the better. So our micron, actually I never mentioned that earlier, so merino ridges, our ewes average 16.3, our hoggets are about 15.5, so they're on the finer edge. So the finer they are, the more difficult they are to handle, you know, to manage throughout the year, because they're softer. Obviously they're softer, so therefore they're softer in their, you know, eating habits, and yeah, they're just more difficult. Yeah, so we're quite comfortable with that 16.3. It seems to suit our customers. That we don't want to go any finer than that, I don't think. You're always tweaking things, you know, like, you know, the soundness of the clip, the tender ones, why are they tender? And you can think back to the time of the year that there is a break in the wool, and you can work out what went wrong. And next year you make sure you've got that in your head and you fix that.
We'd love our customers, or yarn's customers, to know that this is where the product starts from or begins its life, and it's sustainable and it's biodegradable and all those wonderful attributes that make a beautiful garment, and we're super proud of that. I mean, to have Yoko and Yarn here is an incredible honour for us to see where our product ends up. And so anytime we get an opportunity to see where what our product becomes is inspiring. So it actually creates motivation for us to keep doing what we're doing and create something that is usable and beautiful like yarn is.
Well, that's it. Like, ZQ is world leading. We have to be aligned with it, like to get our walls into contracts. You know, with it's a no-brainer. It's great to be involved.
I think it's been going for so long, and that we've been part of it from the start, and the fact that it is world leading and at the top, that's where we want to be, definitely.
Yeah, and and this is all just part of the story, isn't it? Like, obviously Yarn are producing a wonderful, wonderful end garment, but it actually starts on that sheep's back that we looked at there earlier, and to me that's where it all starts.